Yes, it's people, and welcome to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel. You all think Chelsea. I'm your host with the most, the Bridge Nation, here today, of course, to give you another Chelsea review. Make sure, again, as you're coming in, to like, share, and subscribe. Obviously, helps me. Actually, no, make sure as you're coming in to do the following. Please listen to this.
Like that video.
Hit the like button and subscribe.
Thank you very much. Please make sure to do so. Listen, obviously, you know what we're going to be talking about. We are going to be talking about none other than the lovely game that we played today, which is, of course, Chelsea versus Brentford, of course. Nice little match day program for us, as always. We're definitely going to discuss that, discuss the game, our thoughts and feelings, our opinions of it, of course. We will also be talking about the protest. I actually was went a lot earlier today, went around about 1 p.m. to see what the turnout would be like, of course, and more of the other stuff as well. We'll definitely discuss that as well. And does it say Arsenal? Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Well, thank you for correcting me. I want to thank, obviously, Oliver for correcting my title list. Today's game show how stats lie. Listen, listen, I do agree with that. Bit of what you feel tough, hope you do well, but let me bring on Oliver on as well. Hope you do well, Oliver. Thank you for letting me know about the title. I thought I'd written Brentford, but
Yeah,
thank
no
you.
problem.
But you know what? Whilst I'm talking, obviously, do let me know your thoughts and opinion about the game, mate, if you don't mind.
That was horrible to watch. Like, no one's going to deny that. We didn't have control of the ball, or even without the ball, in any moments. Really, I mean, I thought it was quite a flattering result to come out with a clean sheet. There were many chances. I know Sharda definitely should have scored his 1v1 against Sanchez,
I
and we
agree.
just never really looked. We just never really looked in it overall. But you know what? I honestly cannot complain. I mean, the amount of scrappy results that I would have taken in in so many previous years at this football club that we haven't been able to do, that we've fallen in the last hurdle of the game to draw or even lose the game. You know, to come out with 3 points, even if it's a bit ugly, ultimately that's something that you're going to have to do every now and then. So overall, I'd say I'm more leaning on the positive side of things than negative today.
Yeah, just to give obviously my thoughts and opinions real quickly, because I do want to discuss a little before we get into the game properly and discuss the game itself. I do want to talk a little bit about the protest, what I saw, and just my general thoughts and opinions on it, really. But obviously, in terms of the game itself, again, I was in the Matthew Harden lower stand, obviously, of course. I watched the game live and direct. I was at the stadium, Bridge Nation local fan. You know what I mean? This is actually my PB of I've done my personal best this season, which is the number of games that I've gone to this season, which is, I think this is game number 7 that I've been to this season. So I've actually gone to a few more games than I usually do. But in general, I think talking just about this game, this was a nasty scam. We scammed. That's it, really. There's no other way really to put it, chat. We generally scammed the game today. Like, I think if you look at our performances on the pitch, like, yeah, Cole Palmer today, barring the penalty today, he was ghost of Palmer. We'll definitely talk about him, and it seems to be like he clearly, this groin injuries are clearly going to be something of a problem for us in the short to medium term, at least for the season, which we definitely need to discuss about. I look at Tosin and Chalobah, right? Bloody hell. Lord have mercy. They were in front of me in the first half when Brentford was attacking the Matthew Harden stand. And I'll be honest, mate, bloody hell, mate. Watching those two guys in the team is crazy, bro. I don't know how people could watch that in 2020 vision, let alone watch it in 4K. What's it called? 4K Ultra HD. So it's mad. It's mad to watch that. Obviously, that's one of the things we can definitely talk about. I feel like, watching Prejonato and Garnacho play for this football club is crazy because they're just not of this level. I think
Oh Lord.
it's very clear to me that these guys are definitely not of this level. I look at Enzo Fernandez. I think obviously good for him for what he did in this game today in terms of like what he did. But at the same time, bro, whenever there's pressure on him, or whenever the midfield, like the Brentford midfield, bro, had fun. They were able to find that pocket of space. Caicedo again was isolated on an island again, which was not great. Of course, but credit to him today. He had a good performance, in my personal opinion. I look at João Pedro. João Pedro today, barring the goal, what did he do? That's pretty much all I can say, really. And I'm gonna keep it. I think for me there was like a few big continuing issues which were the same issues I had under Maresca, right? Which I've had obviously, which is seem to be as of currently continuing on from obviously Maresca now to Rossinia, right? Which is that our ability to move the ball forward, is lacking, whether it be centrally or wide. There was a point in the first half, where one of our fullbacks, one of our own fullbacks, Kukure, I think it was, was literally, we're on the counter attack, we're trying to push the ball forward, but Pedro Neto is literally next to him. Run, bro! Stop asking for the ball short and run! So we can't even counter properly because the guys that we need to counter with are coming closer to us rather than going forward. And so, you're in this situation where, you've got guys that are playing, stupid games when you need to win. I'll be honest, we needed that second goal so badly, right? We needed that second goal so badly. I generally am of the belief if we did not get that second goal via the penalty, Brentford would have gone on to fucking equalize that in that game and get the equalizer by hook or by crook. And I think for me, at the end of the day, I'm going to repeat again, at the end of the day, that's a performance where, you're just happy to just scam the performance to win. Again, when you're in the hunt for top four, when you're trying to be in the hunt for top four, trying to get those necessary things, right, you take a win by any means necessary. And I feel like in this game in particular, that's what we did. And fundamentally, we needed that win, bro. United won obviously against City. You look at Liverpool dropping points. You needed to win that game, bro. You had to win that game. If you didn't win that game, I really feel like top four is over.
I think what I'm about to say is pretty much the case with like any performance of this nature where you've kind of gotten away with it. You can only really assess this kind of performance in about 5 games' time. If this is the start of something, if this was the bad performance, and then next game we get a little bit better, and then the game after that we get a little bit better, and there's progression, then it's a good result. But if this is like, okay, we just scammed it, we're going to lose to who are we playing next?
We are playing Paphos next, actually, midweek.
In the Premier League.
In the Premier League, we're playing Crystal Palace, actually. So who may not have anyone.
Well, they're not going to have Glasner. He's gone. You see his comments today?
Yep.
Yeah, he's getting sacked.
He's getting sacked, definitely.
But anyway, if we stink it up against Palace, then that's going to be quite worrying. But if we can carry the momentum of the 3 points today, then it all changes depending on what happens in the future. But for right now, we can only look at it only in so much depth, I think.
Exactly. I think for me, I'm going to keep it very honest with you, right? We need another winger, bro. Whether it be particularly on the left wing, bro. Fundamentally, bro, you need another left winger right now. Like, we are in trouble, bro. Deeply in trouble, right? In terms of creation-wise. Like, we need to bring another left winger, bro, as soon as possible. Because otherwise, bro, we are in big trouble. I'm going to keep it real. Before we even talk about centre-back and stuff like that, like, from this assigning perspective, we need another winger, bro. Because creatively, bro, we are completely, bro, we are completely, what's it called, obsolete on the wings. But that's just me. But again, I think for me, in terms of this result and this discussion, I think for me, I look at the team, I look at some of the players that were playing today, and remember the last 10 games. Yeah, the last 10 games of the season for us are gonna be like it's gonna be literally the 10 circles of hell. Literally, even as the 7 circles, but in our case, it's gonna be 10 circles of hell because we're gonna be facing very top tier teams, right? So you need to right now with the kind of run we've got right now, where we've got obviously Pathos, then we've got Crystal Palace next week. You then obviously got Napoli. After Napoli is West Ham, then Arsenal for the second leg of the Carabao Cup, then Wolves, right? And then it's Leeds afterwards, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then I think there's 2 or 3 more games that I'm missing after that. You need to bring in, well, we need to bring in these performances, bro, right? And so today, you know, it was a sort of thing where you're thinking this is going to be the start of a new thing, start of everything else. Can I be honest with you, Oliver? Yeah, what is the difference between Maresca ball and Rosinha ball?
There's not much. I mean, did you expect a difference?
I think for me, when you're bringing in a guy like Rosinha, there should be a clear difference in terms of the way we're playing, bro. Like, if you're Rosinha, you should be able to understand and read, what was going wrong beforehand, what was going wrong afterwards, right? And I think for me, he has not realized that at all.
But you've picked out a manager here. Like I remember, because we hired Rosinha for Strasbourg the same time we hired Maresca. The whole point of that was meant to be that there is a similarity there, so that the loanees or whoever we may even buy from Strasbourg, that they can assimilate into the Chelsea first team more quickly. So that's a systemic problem. You know, if you expected any different, then I don't really want to say.
For me, it's clear, at the very least, in my personal opinion, bro, there is a clear systemic problem at the club, bro. With the players that we have, the player profiles that we have, and everything like that, there's a systemic issue right now, right? And I would have thought that, you know, with everything, you know, that he's spoken about, again, the way I always talk about stuff is that there's not too much that needs to be changed at Chelsea. Again, the tweaks he needs to make aren't too much. A back 3 tweak, I don't think it's going to change too much, right? All of these other stuff is not going to change too much. The stuff that you can do here with a tweak or two is not going to change too much, in my personal opinion, which is why I'm surprised he's not done those little slight tweaks here and there. Because you know what's funny? Like, the guy that he's obviously got that is his assistant in Callum McFarlane. What did Callum do? Tweaked one, two bits, right? And he actually did the what's it called? And he was able to actually make stuff work in a bit more of an efficient manner.
With all due respect, though, Callum McFarlane was facing like Pep Guardiola and you know, even like Marco Silva, vastly more experienced than him, and like. Not that Liam Rosinha has much experience, but Callum McFarlane is literally this guy from Kinetic Foundation. You know, he's a baby in this game, like even compared to Liam Rosinha. So it's to be expected, I guess. Liam Rosinha has had multiple jobs in like senior football. You know, working at Derby, working at Hull, working at Strasbourg. Now here, he's got a bit more to him to say, I'm going to put my imprint on this, I think.
Yeah. I hear you. It is what it is, really, at the end of the day. I just think, for me personally, I just look at the way we played, the performance on that pitch today, and it's just like, you know, you have to hope that it's going to get better, because if it doesn't get better, we are in big trouble, bro. We are in super big trouble. I'll be honest with you, mate.
Well, I'm gonna quote your friend Tuchel. You know, we have the same problems because we have the same players. I mean, literally, the things we see from the likes of Neto and Garnacho, it's no different to what we saw under Maresca.
Exactly.
Is it? You know, Chalobah and Tosin today, no different than what we saw under Maresca. Sanchez had a blip in midweek, but again, he's playing now no different than he was under Maresca. He had a great performance today, Robert Sanchez. Credit to him for that. João Pedro doing nothing outside of the odd goal he scores. That's nothing different compared to Maresca. So, you know, it really answers itself there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think you know what it is. It's interesting because we should talk about the line initially when you saw the lineup. What were your thoughts when you saw the lineup initially?
I mean, I was a little bit disappointed, but there was the caveat that, you know, there's been a bug going around the club. So,
of course,
you know, Delap couldn't start. I think, you know, whatever you think of him, and I'm not his biggest fan myself, I think he's been doing enough recently to warrant starting over João Pedro.
Okay.
Jamie Gittins as well. I'd have him in over Garnacho at the moment, especially after the Charlton performance. Whatever you want to say about the level of club that we came up against there, Garnacho played in that same game and he was tragic. So I don't care. And it's things like that. Some of the decisions were taken out of our hands. Maybe Fofana was rested as well as part of the rotation policy because of his, his proneness to injury. But apart from that, I think it was the best we could put out. Palmer and James missed the midweek, so they come in now. At least we weren't too weak in those areas. But Cole Palmer we can talk about, but at least the intent was there.
I think for me personally, look at the lineup here. Obviously, I was surprised there's no Esteval, but obviously it got revealed that he was ill, which is the reason why I was not in the team, which was fair enough. I think obviously with the lap, I've always assumed that the reason why I was on the bench was fundamentally because of the fact that obviously just caught a bug, maybe just come back. They're like, you're probably only fit enough to start on the bench, considering the number of recovery that you need to have. Fofana, I'm just like, he's Fofana, bro. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And we need to talk about Fofana too, by the way. There's a lot of guys we need to talk about, by the way, in the team that I watched today that were like, bloody hell. In the first half in particular, it's weird because I watched it in the first half and I was like, we definitely look shaky. We look shaky. We started off quite poorly. And Brentford, bro, were able to create quite easily, bro. They were able to create quite easily. They were doing stuff really well. They were creating chances. And they had, like, obviously hit the post. Obviously, as you know, once they hit the post, they then obviously had the ball over the bar. We then obviously scored by a lucky deflection, courtesy of Enzo, into the path of, like, João Pedro. Just very decent, right? And then obviously they then almost went, yes, there is. It's called. It's my favorite Tesco. I used to go there every time for lunch. And no, you didn't know that? Fee enjoying those Doritos. Big up to Via, man. Fee actually watched the game live with me, so big up to him, bro. He had a great time. I like to think, and everything of the sort. But we move. But again, just that first half in general, bro. Just how dangerous was Thingy. What was Brentford? Because Brentford for me were much more the dangerous side, by the way.
Yeah, they definitely were. Part of that, I think, honestly, and this goes to all Premier League fans, you do have to credit the manager Andrews a little bit. He has done a stellar job for what were considered to be relegation candidates, based on like him having no coaching experience as a head coach before. They've done a fantastic job, and their recruitment team at the end of the day have replaced adequately. They lost Mbeumo and Wissa in the summer, and then they got Thiago. He didn't have I wouldn't say he had the most impactful game today, but his goal tally for the season speaks for itself. So some credit has to go to the opposition too. But again, I think, yeah, we started the game very timid, led to a lot of just shaky moments. That centre back pairing, it will never work. I mean, we've seen it enough times this season. Didn't see it so much last season, but they've been training together for a year now. Chalobah came back around this time last year, and they look like they met each other 20 minutes before the game.
Bloody hell, mate! It was like watching Tweedledee and Tweedledum. But big up to you, Pete. I know you obviously were at the game with me. We were literally just talking about your favorite Bozo brothers in Chalobah and Tosin. What were your initial thoughts?
Bro, they are what they are. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of get what you're going to get. And nothing surprises me anymore. I will say, I just watched the chance where Shada chopped Chalobah into fucking France and then somehow didn't shoot it from there. It looks worse on TV. Nobody could figure out.
Oh, that was bad.
Bro, as soon as he was running through on goal, our entire block and Matthew Harding Lowe just silent, right? And as soon as he chopped, I just yelled, "Oh no!" And then Chalobah just kept going. It's like, "Oh fuck, they're gonna shoot it." And then he tried to square it, and everybody laughed. Like, there's no way he just did that. It was a lot of shaky moments in there, but they got a clean sheet. We will take it. We are not above scamming teams for points. But I'm just shocked to shoot that. But yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna add Fofana into this discussion point as well. all of our defenders are all in different situations. Yeah, all terrible. Wesley Fofana, by the way, has lost his ability to check his rear view mirrors. Like he would have the ball. He's not checking for his surroundings, anything like that. We'll take that from you, bro. We'll take that from you, big bro. We'll take that from you. By the way, the other thing that it's funny because this started in the last Brentford game, which was his first game for us at Chelsea. Yeah, his ability to head the ball or track the ball in the air, yeah, similar to Chalobah, has gone now. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know if it's ever since he's had that concussion, but his ability to head the ball now has completely finito, bro. He's cooked. Yeah. Like the whole point, the reason why we were willing, yeah, or at least the club or ourselves have been willing to be lenient on you, yeah, when you've had injuries, it's because we believed, okay, when you're not injured, you're very good to, you're above average to hopefully like top tier centre back, and he's not even doing that, bro. Yeah, the problem with Tosin is that Tosin did do his primary job of heading the ball up, but other than that, they were not making this guy. They were just breezing past this guy. They were cooking this guy. You know, he's actually worse than Thiago Silva, by the way.
Now, when Shada squared it, he nearly scored an own goal trying to clear it.
Yeah, like he's worse than that season where everyone was scoring Thiago Silva. Watched.
One thing I want to say about our center backs, specifically Tosin and Chalobah, they do not believe in clearing the ball with their weak foot.
Yes, I know you spoke about.
I don't believe in using their weak foot. They're one-footed in everything they do, passing it, clearing it, whatever you want to say.
Exactly. It's not a good trait to have in professional football, but especially as a center back. Like when Tosin almost put it into our own net from that cutback, I'm like, brother, what are you doing? Like, flip your hips or like use your left, clear it over your other shoulder.
Exactly. I just think for me, it's just the three centre backs that we've got playing. Plus, obviously, we can't forget the Frenchman. Mr. Baddy Show.
I mean, we can't.
So the other Frenchman I should say, because Fofana's French as well. I keep forgetting Fofana's French as well. So yeah. The two Frenchmen, yeah, are Tweedledee. One of them has become Tweedledee. Yeah, the other guy, I said before, if Baddy Show was ever in any competitive fighting scene, whether it be MMA, boxing, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, he would be on a crazy losing streak, by the way. Do you know why? Because genuinely speaking, bro, he just eats at feints, bro. He will eat the feint. He just bite like little feint, little dribble. He's rushing in.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
we'll probably see him on Wednesday, right?
Oh bloody hell!
Oh great!
No, I can't wait, mate. Can't wait for that one. You know, but genuinely speaking, though, he's just nasty to watch, bro. He's nasty to watch, nasty to look at. All four of them, yeah. And it's just like, you know, we're now potentially about to bring in a 20-year-old, yeah, for around about 60 million or over 60 million euros or pounds, or so I should say, because it's not euros anymore, it's pounds, yeah. Are we bringing that guy into the right environment, bro?
Oh, another right-footed defender, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, are we bringing him into the right environment?
No.
No. So it's just like, why are we buying him then?
I don't know.
It's just, bro. Unironically, just put the Joachim Anderson in the bag. Put the Senesi in put someone like that age in
Guys, you got Disassi at home. It's all good.
Oh my god, man! Bloody hell!
Man City just got Gurhey for half what we paid for that guy.
Yeah, but we didn't want to pay the wages, so we were never going to get that guy.
I know.
No, you're not understanding the point.
Tragic,
the point I'm making, though, is that buying a 20-year-old for over £60 million is not going to solve your defense, bro. When he's only had around about 50 league games, yeah, has barely played football. Yeah, you're bringing him next to play next to someone like a Tosin or Chalobah if he's at RCB. Yeah, or a Chalobah and a Baddy Show. Are we bringing him into the right environment, Danzo? Honest question.
I would go as far as to say I can't remember a single center back bought from outside of the country in the January window that's hit the ground running straight away.
Exactly.
There might be one. I might just be wrong. Like, I might have missed somebody. If any of you guys can think of someone, let me know. But I'm going to look through some transfer windows from like the 2010s to try and find somebody. But I can't think of one.
I mean, I'm going to give a shameless answer because obviously since this time he's not been good, but Badiashile technically was good at the beginning. Obviously, that only lasted about 5 months, but yeah.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the best answers we have, right?
Yep.
That's all I can think of, yeah.
Legit, that's all I can think of too. Baddy Shield probably. You probably could make the argument for Varna, obviously. If he's not injured, he's been pretty decent.
What?
No, sorry.
Wait, we took
wrong.
January window.
January. Oh, so January.
January window from outside the Premier League.
Yeah. My point is, I don't think this really happens. Like what we're trying to do to get an immediate upgrade, I don't think we've ever.
Oh, I think Peter, you lagged.
When he was bought, when Cahill was bought.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you lagged a little bit.
Yeah, when Cahill was bought, it was from Bolton in January, right? When Van Dijk moved to Liverpool, he moved from Southampton.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of other center backs that have showed up in the January window. I'm struggling, man. Yeah, I don't know.
At the top level, I can't name any.
Yeah.
Did Kurt Zouma get bought in January of 2015?
I think he got born in the summer, no? I thought he got born in the summer.
No, I don't know if that's true. I'll look it up. That might be another shot.
Whilst you're looking that one up, another guy from outside. So listen, I think the other question that I think we should also discuss about, which is
now Zouma was this summer.
Mm.
He had signed the previous January window, but then joined the squad in the summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring this comment. I'm gonna bring another player up right now, and that is Mark Cucurella.
No, Prime, you're right. Laporte is the.
Oh, big up to South Africa. The last one we did was David
Luiz.
Luiz.
So we have like David Luiz and Laporte are the last like foreign guys to land in this league.
Oh God, yeah.
Do well at center back. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to make a quick point here, which is big up to our boy Mark Cucurella, but I want to talk about him honestly, And the reality with him is that we have run that brother into the ground, and we are now eating the consequences of our actions, bro. Because he definitely looks like he's lost a step. He's not as effective as he was. And it's clear we have just basically just run that brother into the ground. Essentially, he's essentially having the similar situation to what Gusto has had, where he's essentially just been run to the ground too, even though he's been worse when he's been playing though. So, and it's not great because I think in his case you've got a Juro Hato in his position, which of course for a Juro Hato you say, oh, he's gonna get experience, etc., etc., etc. But it's just like it's not good for us though.
Nah, I get it, but it's the situation we're in, man. We need Hato to play some more minutes and do better to give him a bit of a rest.
I just don't understand why that never happens.
I mean, I guess you could say that's one of the reasons they decided to make a change at coach potentially.
Hey, man, hold that Maresca, you bold fraud.
Hold that Maresca. This guy's so shameless.
Listen, man. As I said before, man, Maresca, we know what you are, mate. We know what you are. But I think obviously with Cucurella, I feel sorry for him because it's clear he's been running to the ground. I don't know what's gonna happen with him because it's like I don't know, if he continues to play at this level or he continues to decline, at this level, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble, bro. And that's the one thing you do, and that's the one thing you don't want to be in that situation.
I don't know. I don't think this is decline. I think
Big up
he's
to
just
Scott, man.
never
Big up to
played
Scott.
for a long time.
But you know what it is, you know how it goes. What's it called, Peter? Yeah, if these guys are playing on a consistent level, right, as I said many a time before, they're playing on a consistent level. They've been running to the ground. Eventually, bro, they're not able to recover back to that previous level that they were at.
I mean, sure, but he's played just about every game of football possible for the last 18 months, right?
Pretty much.
It happens, man. I'm not super concerned about it, to be honest.
And I don't think the club are either. I mean, a new contract with only a wage bump and not a more added years. That says a lot, I think.
Yes. Either way, we'll see what happens with Kukurea. That's a guy that I really want to keep an eye on. Another guy that I do. I want to talk about before we continue on talking about players is that what has changed between Rossignol ball, that we've seen, and Enzo Maresca ball.
Literally nothing.
That's what I was saying as well.
I'd say outside of certain players playing a little bit more, like nothing. Hato plays more. Hiu plays more. Santos plays more, but that's kind of like he probably has played about as much he probably would have played under Maresca in these same games. It's about
Acheampong's playing a little bit more.
Yeah, but again, with Gusto being out for an undisclosed period of time.
Yeah, the result of Gusto just disappearing, or
no, it's because Gusto basically it was happening last season as well under Maresca, and I think a lot of it has to do kind of like with the pot season where you'd have like a game or two out due to muscle overload, right? And so I think probably what's happened with Gusto is that he's having another situation of muscle overload where he basically needs to relax and basically just like not do anything at all, if that makes sense.
I mean, that sounds nice, but I don't know.
But the thing of muscle overload is that I would assume, again, that's me saying, I would assume here, guys, that it's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take some time, obviously, for him to obviously relax. He's gonna have to relax for a little bit. Like he's no footballing activities and everything of the sort.
I hear that.
Do we have the bodies to him not playing?
That's probably remember the guy. Remember, he's the backup for Reece James, and we all know our thoughts and opinions on Reece James.
Ahmed, you've gone very quiet. Like you sound like you're far away from your mic.
No, I thought it was just me, but I don't know.
Whoa, how am I sounding now?
That's better. You just
yeah.
I don't know. Like I think with Josh being there, it's been fine. Like when Josh hasn't played there, it's been a bit weird. Like against Arsenal, it was weird when Chalobah played right back and looked sus, and Fofana played right back and looked shit. And but Josh being there, I think it's fine. Because like Josh will probably play right back against Paphos, and that should be fine. And then Reece plays right back against Palace, and we know that's fine. Yeah, like it's just gonna be like it's just gonna be interesting how we how we manage the games where we obviously we've got a lot of games coming up, but I think it'll be fine for the most part. Going back to your question, Ahmed, tactically speaking, there's nothing different. Literally nothing different. And I said this after the Charlton game when people were getting gassed and saying, "Oh, it looks so much different." No, it doesn't, bro. We played Charlton, and I said that the Arsenal game isn't really going to mean much because that's one of those because it's a rivalry and because it's a derby and it's a big team. It's going to be open. It's going to be one of those open games, which it kind of was.
Exactly.
But I always said Brentford and Crystal Palace and these guys are going to be the big test, and it's exactly the same. We play in a U shape. Peter said this earlier when we were at the pub. He was like, "Bro, we just pass in a U shape around the edge of the box."
U-shape, though.
The problem is, I think for me, the issue right now is that we have a systematic issue. That's the best way to put it.
I disagree. We have a quality issue.
No. What I mean by that, hear me out, is that the quality issue is obviously one thing that I agree with. But if you look at this, the way the system that we play and everything that we do, we have a major systematic issue in the sense that we cannot play like this when you have Garnacho and you have Pedro Neto playing, bro. You just can't do it, bro. You can't do it.
Quality issue.
Ahmed, unfortunately, because of the way our squad is compiled, and a lot of this comes down to recruitment again, there's no other way you can play. You can't play with like for example, today, if you have fullbacks overlapping, that's fine, but that means that you're putting more pressure on the centre backs in the central midfield to defend on those transition moments if we get caught with fullbacks up the pitch.
Yep.
Which
I don't want to hear.
This game alone, by the way, forget any other game this season. This game alone showed that our centre backs and one of our midfielders cannot defend in transition. Any of our centre backs, by the way, not even just the ones that started. None of our centre backs can defend in transition, and Enzo Fernandez can't defend in transition either. We have we have one midfielder that can defend in transition regularly, being Moises Caicedo, and that's the only one of about 8 players, if you include centre backs and other central midfielders, that can defend in transition, which is bad. That's the issue. So you have to try and limit that with having a fullback inverting into midfield or a fullback tucking in as another centre back. That's how you mitigate that. It doesn't it's not working because these centre backs we've got are trash, and Enzo Fernandez defensively is trash. But yeah, I also, by the way, I said this earlier, and I'm just gonna say it. Those people that said, "Oh, but we missed Palmer, Caicedo, and Reece against Arsenal, it would have made a difference to the scoreline." Would it? Fuck. Palmer played today, scammed a goal, was terrible outside of that. Did nothing. You can tell he's still recovering from the groin injury. And despite having Reece and Caicedo in the back line, we could have conceded 5 to Brentford today. Easy. Yep. So they don't make a difference to this team because unfortunately, those 2 players can't mitigate how shit our centre backs are. They just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. On one hand, the football we play, I can see how people get annoyed at it. I get it. But I also absolutely understand why we do this. I agree. You can't really ask Chalobah, Tosin, or Enzo to be running into the net for their own defensive guys. They're not a 2022 Rudiger type of player. We just don't have them. It just, I don't know. I do think sometimes we are very risk averse for the sake of being risk averse in the final third. There's plenty of times today where guys could have shot the ball from 20, 25 yards out instead of trying to play the ball to João Pedro, which is never going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do think we are passive for the sake of it, beyond the point where it is reasonable.
I'm going to be honest, I still think so much that comes down to the players. We've seen Pedro Neto now under, if you include interims, 3 different managers. He's the same player with every manager. He's passive whether he's in transition, whether he's in possession, he's just passive. Garnacho, you said it today, Ahmed, he at least tries. You can see there's an intent to try and beat his fullback, but he knows he's not beating his fullback. So there's at least intent there. He just doesn't have the quality to do it. The midfielders, Caicedo, there's no point him shooting from 30 yards. Yeah, we know he has that in his locker, but that's stupid. Enzo Fernandez, I don't want shooting from 30 yards. Outside of those 2, there's no one else in midfield that's hit the shooting. We know Palmer's not really shooting like that. He had 1 today, which he put over the bar, but it's again, this comes down to a quality issue because again today, struggled breaking down the low block. Again,
the problem is the biggest issue because Scott, you and I, or all of us, Byron, Oliver, all of us were basically together and we spoke about this. But it's just there's a lack of just forward progression of the ball, right? Whether it be centrally, right? Because Palmer's not there centrally for us. I don't know what's going on there, where he's able to be in space to make that forward pass, then whether it be to João Pedro or Delap if he's there, right? Or our wingers themselves, just for some reason, loving to come short and not just attacking the flipping, the acres of spaces in front of you. I don't understand that, bro. The logic.
We were watching the Forest game today at the pub afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, Pete will remember this because we were watching this. There's a moment where Hudson-Odoi picks the ball up on the left in the second half of Forest. He creates a little bit of space because he holds the ball up a little bit. He puts an inch perfect pass between all of Arsenal's midfield into Morgan Gibbs White in just like on kind of the edge of the box. None of our attacking players are making that pass. Outside of Enzo Fernandez, like 20% of the time, there's not another player in our attack that's making that pass. Palmer actually does sometimes as well, but like, and so you're telling me either Callum Hudson-Odoi is a better player than our players, which I think he is, or Sean Dyche is a more competent attacking manager than Liam Rosenior. Like, respectfully, no, he's a terrorist.
Hey man, today, true soldier. You did it.
Like,
you saw West Ham win. You said no relegation scrap here, buddy. Arsenal.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, bro. You can't tell me that Sean Dyche is coaching these guys attacking wise better than Liam Rosenior. It's just these guys are like stupid. We've had this conversation before. IQ wise, when it comes to football IQ, these guys are dumb. These guys are stupid. We sign ignorant players.
And this latest this is a point today too. Like,
the excuses, honestly, the excuses need to end. Like, I'm watching Pedro Neto. People like online and whatnot saying about we need an overlapping fullback. This guy takes a 1v1 situation and turns it into a 2v1 by hesitating, by having bad ball control, by having no spatial awareness. And you want us to give it an overlapping fullback and destabilize our back line even more than it already is. Like, can we just call it as it is? He's not good enough.
Yeah.
Anybody who needs an overlapping fullback as a wide player to make something happen out wide is trash. Okay, this is the unofficial rule. And I would
because people are stupid. They see Neto turn a 1v1 into a 2v1 and they say, oh, he's getting doubled up on. No, he's not. You did that to yourself.
The thing is, I see your comment, and I agree that was a bad miss by 49. 100% agree with you on that. But at the same time, bro, again, we're coming back to the thing of something I've spoken about many a time before. It's about this idea that, you know, what the amount of we're trying to make everyone be completely clinical. Yeah, but when what's it called? We don't have clinical players, right? We need to be creating multiple opportunities, bro. We can't just continue to score from 1 to 2 chances, bro.
I was gonna say this is the only chance we had in 90 minutes. Or that's the only clear chance we had in 90 minutes of football.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's the only thing Neto did in 90 minutes of football. One cross.
Well, just like if that's the one bit of quality we're gonna get from our 2 wide players, like it's just not a lot, right?
Yeah.
You're never gonna prosper consistently because, like, yes, Neto, good cross, but also you're crossing it to Garnacho. So, like, the fact that he missed, I'm not surprised. At no point did my heart race like, oh yeah, we're gonna score. I was like, oh, he actually did miss. Okay, whatever.
No, I agree with your point, E. It was a wide open net. Yeah, I agree that it's a bad opportunity.
That's the point.
Mm-hmm. I just feel. Listen, I think at the end of the day, there is a guy that we need to talk about. A major elephant in the room. But we do have some video to show for this. So bear with me while I bring this up. 3, 2, 1. Enjoy this nice little piece of media. Thank you very much. That was obviously Mr. Cole Palmer. But there is actually some more video that we have to show. But for this one, sorry, excuse me, bloody hell. Where is the video that I need to show? There we go. Bish, bash, and a little bit of the bong here, there. And let's make sure this is muted. And there we go. Obviously, this is Cole Palmer right now. As you can see, it's got some heavy strapping on that groin area, as you can see, and clearly playing with quite a lot of. And listen, my opinion on Cole Palmer, barring that penalty today, he was ghost of Palmer. You know, that's what I'm gonna call him now. He was the ghost. You know, couldn't find him anywhere. Wasn't linking up play, wasn't in the middle and everything of the sort. And so, you know, again, this is another thing that we do need to talk about, which is like, obviously, Garnacho Neto stinking up the pitch. right? But the main man that you need to rise up is going to be Cole Palmer. Clearly, he has a major groin injury, right, which is clearly affecting his play, right? This is me being a lot more benevolent to him than maybe some people would be like, oh, it's not the groin, but it's clearly that a groin problem that he has, right? And he probably does need surgery from the way it's looking like too, right? If this is holding him back this much, then we need to say, big man, time for you to get that surgery, bro.
I don't even know
He's
if
under
it's a surgery.
he's under no obligation to listen though.
That's true.
No, but like I don't know if it's like there's the need for surgery, right? Like just because I don't know how serious it is, I don't know like if that's necessarily something he needs to do, right? What should be happening though is he should be taken out of the team, like he should be given rest. And I'll be honest, seeing him play 90 minutes today when it's quite clear he is not fully fit, he's playing at like 80%. Bro, this is where like the PR shit that comes out of the club, like all the medical team stuff about Maresca, is bullshit. Because so you're telling me Maresca fell out with the medical team because he was overplaying players, and Racinia's first league game he plays Palmer 90 minutes when he quite clearly isn't fully fit and has an issue with his groin still.
Yeah.
Why is he out there? If the medical team has as much power and as is an influential to this squad that we are meant to believe, how is he playing 90 minutes? How's he playing as much as he is?
90 minutes, especially with the last 30 minutes or whatever being at right wing, and they didn't chuck George on the pitch.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, the way we played with our wingers this game as well, especially in that last 30 minutes, like the one thing you can't expect from Palmer is like pace and like that ability to like, even when he's fully fit, to like explode away from a player. Like he's going to take it around a player. It's going to be like nice tight feet. He's going to beat him with dribbling. If he's struggling with that because of the issue with the groin, having him a right wing when we're on counter attacks, and like there was a moment where I think the ball got played to him on the right wing, and he just slows it down because that's what he wants to do. So it's just like it's counterintuitive to how we're playing as a team.
Exactly. I think. Listen, here, you know, it's funny. You know, we obviously, if you were watching the Nottingham Forest game, yeah, with like Gibbs White, the thing about Gibbs White gets in space and then he's looking to push the ball forward. The problem for us, bro, is that he's not even doing that, bro. He's trying to come really deep and then start and almost playing that 6 role, bro, to start creating stuff. And it's like, I don't need you there, big man. I need you in the middle, in the transition, to be that effective thing for us. And he's not there for the vast majority of the time. Or he's not hitting the passes, or he's holding the ball too long. Right? That was one of my main... Go ahead, Oliver.
That's that 6 area. That 6 area is the only place he can reliably get touches on the ball. Like he is so easy nowadays, whether it's his fault or not. He is so easy nowadays to mark out of the game.
But that's because and this does come back to the system thing a little bit. Because of the way our system is designed, the wingers get a lot of 1v1s and a lot of touches, and the central areas are really congested. So we saw João Pedro today play as a DM at times. João Pedro today plays a DM at times to get touches on the football. That's my striker. There was at one point he was at DM and Cucurella was at striker today. Like that's where we're at. Pete, I think you're on mute. But that's where we're at.
For the shittest guys to get the most touches.
Yep. And so like it's a catch-22 because if we're gonna play this way, Palmer needs to play on the wing to get the most touches because we know he can beat these guys. But especially in the state he's in at the moment, he can't reliably break away from players because of the groin issue. He's not quick enough to like, unless you're playing against Dan Burn at left back, he's not beating guys like for pace. So, like I said, like I understand he wants to make the World Cup. He has a 0.1% chance of making that World Cup squad. Forget playing, being on the squad. There are at least 5 guys. But actually, if you consider like wing as well, because I know he like is picked as like one of the depth wing options, bro, there's a good probably 8 players ahead of him, really, if you think about it. Like, just hold the L for this season, take some time off, and then make the Euro squad in 2 years.
Can I be real, Mazza? I disagree.
It's not the end of the world.
The CBs, obviously, yes, they're not being forward passes. I can agree with that. But the problem is, bro, there's a lack of central creation in general, bro.
Not
Yep.
so. If you guys want a tactical breakdown of things that happened today, in all seriousness, Keith Andrews, I'm impressed. But in our build-up, right? Brentford did a thing where the left-footed center mid they have, Janelt, whichever one, not Jensen, not Ukrainian.
It was Janelt, yeah.
Janelt, he played left in a 3. So Rico Henry and Coyote were like wingbacks. But what happened is Jensen came off of the wing and came into midfield. So their 3 in midfield were marking our 3 in midfield. Okay? So if the center backs were going to get vertical and try and find those players were under pressure almost immediately. So I know our fans complain about the U-shaped buildup. I get it. It's annoying. But today, it was kind of necessary. There's a few times they tried to play it into Enzo and Caicedo, and you have guys snapping at their heels. And you can't lose the ball in those phases.
Yep.
Right? So I don't think it's fair to really get upset at our center backs for the passing choices today. Because, guys, I promise you, nothing was on in that central area. It was the ball had to go to either of the fullbacks, and then they had to try and find the center mids and just go sideways. And our out ball was really the fullback on the opposite side of the pitch once the ball went into midfield. That was just the way the game was set up. Brentford's setup today was spot on, and I was really impressed with it.
Fair enough. Guys, I've got another nice little video for us before we continue on. Nice little video. Pete already saw this video, so he knows what this video is, but enjoy.
Hey, man.
Oh, is this the...
Oh, I crashed out when this happened.
Somebody in block 14 and Matthew Harding Lower was like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? You're not charisma."
That isn't even the one that I think that he was talking about. There's another one, by the way.
I just saw this one online, bro. That was hilarious. I can't lie to you.
On the point that Matt made, though, I think some of this again
was some of the funniest shit I've ever heard in the ground. That was so funny.
I think some of this comes back to quality again. Like, bro, you look at who we've got. Chalobah's worst attribute is passing, arguably. It's that or heading. Like Pete said it today. I don't even think that was the clip, by the way. There's another clip. If he tries to fully Trivela pass it out of defense and just gives it away immediately. You've got Tosin, who I don't remember him attempting. Like, he can sometimes do that pass, but it's Tosin. Like, it's Tosin. Caicedo, for as good as he is, when he was getting on the ball, his passing today was bad. And, like, he's not the most creative player. Andre Santos, when he came on, I think probably his weakest attribute we've seen since he's played at Chelsea is his passing, especially long passing. And then Enzo, whose passing was terrible today. Like, at some point, like, yes, we had no creation or like no punch from like the centre backs or the midfield. Part of that just comes down to these guys suck. Exactly. These guys just don't have the physical ability to do it. Like, I think if we have like a Zubamendi, if we have I'm thinking a centre back like a Laporte centre back or someone like that, I think you see a lot more punch and a lot more like fizz into these guys. Another thing as well, what Pete said about like when the ball does go into the midfield, Caicedo's the only midfielder we've got that's any kind of press resistance, that's fit, I'll say, because Lavia is, but he doesn't exist. Enzo's not press resistant. Andre Santos, I don't really think is, or we haven't seen him too much to know whether he's really that press resistant.
Exactly.
So you got one press. Palmer in his current state isn't really press resistant. You got João Pedro isn't press resistant. So you've got one central player out of, again, about 6 or 7 that is actually press resistant. So he's the only dude you can fizz the ball into under any sort of pressure, and even that's not like 100% success rate. So Brentford know that. They see that as time goes on. It's like, okay, if it goes into Caicedo, we probably need 2 guys on him, which they started to do. If it goes into Enzo, it's just one dude. Send Jensen or Yarmouk or some random other person into him, and they'll win the ball. Like, Kovacic in this team right now would cook.
Yeah, he would.
I agree. Ironically, he would actually be so helpful in our team currently.
We need a three-man midfield, bro. I just think we need a three-man midfield, bro.
No, bro, we just need a new midfielder. Like, that's all it is.
Second midfielder next to Caicedo to be able to run.
Yeah. Listen, Enzo Fernandez. Go ahead.
Bro, Sigurd was talking about him. I said this earlier. It got to 59 minutes, and I'm sat behind the goal, right? And there was a moment, Enzo's pressing Kelleher. This dude's whole body is moving while he's breathing. Like, he's gassed at 59 minutes. He's doing the heavy breathing at 59 minutes. I've never, bro. He's the fattest skinny person I've ever seen. He looks like he's really thin, but moves like he's fat as hell.
Yeah, I think for me, he's just, bro, he's good. The thing about Enzo, I noticed this, bro. They were just doing 1-2s around him. They literally 1-2s around him, and we're like, we're just gonna have to take on Caicedo 1v1 and hope that we can beat Caicedo that way, because
Bro, Yarmouk and Jensen were doing him so bad.
They're doing rondos around Enzo, you know.
That's what they literally did, bro. Bang, 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 bro. That's it. That's all they literally did, bro. And the thing is, like, yeah, I'm here. Like, this is why sometimes, yeah, you have to see stuff, yeah, with your OTIs IRL, bro. Because if you didn't see that IRL, bro, you will be thinking, oh, what a defensive performance from Enzo Fernandez, bro, online. Because I watched that, bro, and I could see they were just. That's it. He was not covering Brown. He was not holding ground, bro, and he was just getting cooked. I genuinely just feel like, yeah, this league's not for him, bro. He needs to give it up, bro.
It's not for him 100%, bro. You can see that. Like, for all the technical ability he has going forward, and I'll be honest, he showed like none of that today, or like very little of that. I'll be honest. Yeah, bro, he is such a liability off the ball for us. It's insane, and it's like if you're gonna play the way you're gonna play in this system, like we spoke about earlier. If you're going to give us more options in attack, whether that be Reece Cucurella like pushing further up, whether that's going to be giving like help for the wing backs or overlapping, you need your other midfielder to not be a defensive liability. You need them to be a two-way player. You need them to be a two-way player.
Exactly, bro. Bro. I saw that earlier.
Even if they're not a two-way player, you need them to be a DM, because then you can have Caicedo be the two-way player who just covers ground, like Kante was.
Bro, I saw that Elliot Anderson performance today, and I was like, bro, that's what you need in the team, bro. I can't even lie to you. I saw the Elliot Anderson performance today against Forest, and I was like, that is the guy we need in the team, bro. Low-key.
He killed Jorginho for his time while he was here, right? I'm like, that's fine, right? Feel however you want to feel. We all watch it.
Exactly.
What I don't want history to do is to pretend like Jorginho and Enzo are the same player out of possession. Like,
yeah, they're not.
Enzo's like a next level kind of is not very useful. Like, I think Enzo out of possession is worse than Kovacic, who I thought was really poor.
I agree.
Yeah, because the thing about Jorginho as well is, even though he was like easy to get past in a sense, like he wasn't mobile, he had the defensive understanding of where to position himself. He knew his limitations.
Not passing lanes.
For his frame, he won a pretty good amount of duels and had a lot of interceptions. Like, the anticipation. Yeah,
because he understood where to be, and like mentally he was there. Enzo, he tries to be this all-action two-way midfielder, which he's just not, and like so he keeps getting himself caught in either, like you said, either the quick 1-2s where he's getting passed like a cone, or he's chasing shadows all the time.
Yep. You know, I just think of Enzo. I think, listen, man, the story's got to end soon, bro. The story's got to end. I don't know when it's going to happen.
Bro.
It's got to end soon, bro, but it's got to end soon. But I feel like, in general, I feel like we've spoken about the game in terms of like what we can really say about it. The only thing I probably want to add is that, obviously, if you look at our upcoming running games before Arsenal, right, you've obviously got Paphos next. Then it's Crystal Palace, Napoli, and then it's West Ham before we get to the second leg. So Wolves, West Ham, right? And I look at all of those games upcoming, and I'm like, yeah, those are games we can really win. Barring even Napoli, if we can, if the Conte judge is that strong, you could go on a winning run here where can really give the team momentum, bro. But the thing is, bro, I look at a performance like this today and I'm like, can we do that? You know what I mean? Is there both a gene in us where it's like that's just waiting for us to start, to take shape and it's like, hit us and like hit us with a nasty jab?
It's one of those where like we can, in a sense of like, if you can cause the other team issues, like today we both our goals came from just like pressing and causing mistakes, right? But you can try and do that and it can work. The thing is just defensively, bro. Like if it wasn't for a mixture of Robert Sanchez plus Brentford's awful decision making in the final third today, we easily concede 5. Like, and so you see the attack Palace have, and like we saw them score today against Sunderland, who have a better defense than us. Yes, they lost the game, but they have a better defense than us. They're also at home in that game, so like that's going to be tough. The West Ham game and like the Wolves game, we should win. I'm not really worried about either of those games. Leeds will be interesting because I think they're going to come with the same mentality they had when we played them at theirs. We can definitely go on a run, and honestly, we probably should, considering the last 10 games we've got this season. But yeah, like some of these players, man.
Yeah. Big up to my boy, Real Chris. Hello, Christopher. How do you feel about Chelsea Green being at Chelsea and ruining the team morale?
Wait, say that part again?
How do you feel about the fact Chelsea Green came to our club and we're just getting washed wrestlers and coming to the
Chelsea Green, did you say?
Yeah, just wanted to your thoughts on that.
Man. She's proper Chelsea. She got the whole logo on her profile picture. Is she actually a Chelsea fan? I don't even know.
No, I think they've come to the UK for something because I saw that.
Did you kick me out for that?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, I think they've just come to the. Obviously, they've been in the UK for like at the shows recently.
SmackDown and London.
Yes, I think that I saw.
Because they've been in London. They've been in London. Remember?
Yeah,
I'm not too sure if you saw it much, but her gimmick is like she does like have that like Chelsea logo on her thing, like
I know.
So the Chelsea belt, yeah.
And no, not the belt, like her logo around her face.
No, she has the belt as well, though. She has a picture with it in the social media.
I think all sorts of wrestlers do that.
Fair enough. But either way, it is what it is. There is one more thing we should talk about today, which is something that I did see today, which is, of course, the protests that took place today. Obviously, as you guys.
That was the shittest thing.
We're gonna get to that.
I didn't see it.
Bridge Nation has exclusive footage. This was around about 1 p.m. I took this video. Bridge Nation made sure to be a top reporter on the scene. This is Bridge Nation's videoing live and direct. So this is obviously the protest. This was around about 1 p.m. when this was happening. That was obviously around about 1 p.m.ish when this took place. I think Pies mentioned there was only around about 300 people that came, and I think something that I was very surprised by to hear was that at the Arsenal game, apparently, which is the Wednesday game, there were a lot of fans that apparently weren't too happy with the protests, that were disagreeing with the protests, which I'm gonna bring up that tweet right now from Daily itself. So which is something that I thought would be interested. Obviously this is from Nizar Kinsella, because I think initially who brought this up, and this is it. Let me make it bigger for everyone to see. Not everyone agreed with the protest outside of the Britannia Gate before kickoff for the protest today. So there was some people that were disagreeing with that as well. And then there was one more thing that I know that he mentioned that I can't remember what was it called? Barrowby, what I bring up, but I don't think he's got it here. But in the meantime, what is everyone's general thoughts on the protest from what they saw? Do you think it was a good start? Do you think it was terrible? Do you think that the win? Do you think that the win is kind of like hampered it?
Probably didn't affect on the win or not. Like probably Tosin did that. If anything. Yeah, no, like everyone has the right to protest if they want to protest. Was it even a good one? I haven't actually seen any of it. That's the first clip I've seen, by the way, of the protest.
All right. We'll come back to you.
200 people maybe just kind of chanting for like an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it lasts an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I will say it got more. It did pick up towards like I'd say about an hour before kickoff, like just before because when we were there, the Brentford team bus like was leaving,
Mhm.
or was like moving maybe or whatever, and it picked up just before that. But yeah, I think we spoke about this earlier, but like I just think that the steps that need to be made in this country, like when it comes to protesting and action and like for change, people don't want to do. Like I think I spoke with Alex from Chelsea Fan TV earlier, and he said that like because he was at the first one as well, he said there was more like anger and just vim in the first one. This one kind of just felt like, I don't know what the word he used was, but it was just apathetic. It's like you're doing this to kind of like just to do it.
This one felt like people hanging out.
Yeah, like it was at least this one there was like actual chance. All the chants were leveled at the owners rather than chanting about Tottenham and this, that, and the other. But yeah, like the fact that I don't even know if Johnny was there, by the way, on a side note. Half the people that half of the people who have been quite outspoken about Clear Lake and Blueco and this, that, and the other turned up literally, like I said, about an hour before kickoff.
Mhm.
So they've turned up an hour late to it, or an hour after it starts. Yeah, like it's just like if you actually want to protest and want to do it properly, do it properly. If not, then what's the fucking point? Because like you just look stupid. You've tried to do 2 protests now, and you look stupid doing both of them for differing reasons.
I just think I feel like you know what it is, Scott. Yeah. I was interested to see how this process goes because like clearly people were there to make stuff happen. I think for me, looking at the protest, it's very small. It's a small crowd. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Obviously, you need to start somewhere, right? But you know, there were some voices being heard here and there. But the reality is, bro, it's not great. You know, if you're in Bali, bro, and you see that, bro, you're saying these guys ain't shit, bro.
Especially
You know
considering part of what needed to happen as well, right? And United have done this, and I know other teams do this as well when they protest. The protests have to continue into the ground, right? They have to continue into the game with chants and this, that, and the other. Bro, we got into the game, so we obviously all went inside. We were watching the game. We went up into our seats at about what, 2:45, 3?
Yeah, like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, no chance, no nothing. I think I asked you guys about this, and again, I don't know what it was like in your guys' block. In my block, the first chance I heard about the owners was in about the 88th minute, and it was like a group of 10 dudes.
There was the Kalu chant. I did hear it.
Yeah, bro. No, the thing is, like, I think one thing you have to realize is that, and I was saying this as well. Once when the game started, bro, and even before the game, bro, literally when the game started, bro, it was just supporting the team, bro. They didn't give a shit, bro.
Yeah, exactly, and that's fine if you want to do that, but that means you're not wanting actionable change, or you're not that you don't want change. You're not willing to go through the steps to get actionable change. Like we've had we've talked about it before. Turn up to the game late. Don't there should be a mass group of fans. It should be all. It won't be all fans. A mass group of fans who are not there for the first 20 minutes, because that will get picked up by Sky, by the media, if they turn up 20 minutes late. Or do what was it Charlton's fans done? I can't remember who else did. Throw shit on the pitch. Stop the game for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I've said this before. I don't know if people here would agree with me when I say this, but I feel like for a lot of the fans that we see right now, like, you know, we're always one win away from people saying we're so back right now. And I feel, bro, I remember we won the game today. People all happy, smiling, cheering, and everything like that. And again, one win, bro, and again the situation just changes, bro. When no one's talking about
that's the problem when you have football fans as your army to bring to these protests. They're fickle. Yeah. I think you said it, Ahmed. Did the win hurt it? I think it does. If we go on a run now, I mean, it's going to stop. I mean, I know for sure that because I follow Not a Project CFC. They haven't even implied that this is going to continue beyond today, which it needs to in order to have any credibility and long standing.
Yeah.
Yep, there should be another one at the next home game, and then another one, and then another one. There should be a continued thing, and like, yeah, we saw it today. If we play well, they're not going to back it, but they're just going to keep quiet. Yeah, and on the crowd thing, by the way, yeah, the crowd was shit. Like, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But part of it, I don't blame the crowd. Like, I didn't want to stand there for 90 minutes and cheer the players and back the players when I'm watching Garnetto for 55 and 90 minutes do nothing.
Right.
I don't want to back.
I
I don't want to cheer for the team when I'm watching Brentford bop us off the pitch in our own ground. We got outplayed by Brentford for 90 minutes. And scam
it's weird because, like I've said this before, like when we played the way we were doing when it was 0-0 and even when it was 1-0 and they could have equalized, like you could tell that the situation was very toxic in the stadium, bro. Like and everything like that, right? But again, as I said, what the win changes the whole situation, bro. Right, and so it hurts it quite.
Well, even do you remember
level?
Sorry.
And like I think before I let Chris go, I think the other thing we also the other thing I think we should also add is that obviously even if you exclude obviously just winning, like winning the game, right? The other problem that you now have with these protests as well is that are they going to be taken seriously anymore right now?
Nope.
You know what I mean? No.
No.
Even if it's from like I know you mentioned that a certain person's name, which I don't really want to mention. Are we gonna? Is he even taken seriously at this point, bro? I don't think
I was
so,
gonna
bro.
say
I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
Like so, and so for me, I think for me, I'm the point I'm just trying to make is that I feel like for a lot of fans, I think there's like they've reached the stage 5, as I said before, acceptance. They've reached acceptance, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They've reached the fact that okay, this is who we are, these are who the owners we are, and that's what we do, bro. It is what it is.
Do you remember like the last protest we did, and they reached Sky Sports and like money, like Clown?
The thing is, Chris,
they didn't do protest straight after. They didn't do protest the next one because we won, right?
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah,
So it's happening again.
why that protest last year, I didn't back that one. That one was utter shambles.
Yeah.
Even
by the way, the thing is,
right?
you know what's funny? Sorry,
Yeah,
Prime,
go
before you go, it's all yours, yeah?
Yeah.
I actually wanted to say something here. You know what's funny? There was actual journalists in the at the place.
Yeah.
Like I was pointing them out to Scott and the other guys, bro. There was actually
First time I've ever seen Simon Johnson.
Simon Johnson was there.
Yeah,
Really?
guys. There was actual guys that were there, bro. Yeah, that were at
You could see his mic he set up for ESPN and stuff. He was setting up,
bro. Yeah, you even had like what's it called? You even had like Haters TV. You had like a lot of like other BBC was there of Nizar because Nizar was there. There was like another guy that was another journalist that was there because he had the journalist badge of him as well. Right, so there was clearly people that were there that was watching the protest and doing stuff. Right, so clearly there was like some level of media presence, but because like some of them like obviously minerals, like for example, have said they're all brown envelopes. They don't care about us, right? So you already have kind of like if you're doing his thing, right? You're already
Alienating them.
You've already alienated them, bro. They don't give a shit about you, right? And then the other aspect as well is that obviously, right? This protest, if it was big enough, bro, these guys are reporting it straight away, bro. You would be hearing about it like right now, bro. Major reports, everything like that, but we don't even have that, bro.
Nope.
I'll be honest with me. There's not much difference, RSM, between understanding and accepting. If you understand what's going on, then you've basically accepted at that point.
We had this conversation earlier, right? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think what you said is right, Ahmed. In terms of, I think the protest stuff now is dead because you had 2 chances to do it and you fucked it both times again for different reasons. That's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So anything to change at this football club, you have to take a different tact. So some things have to change.
Exactly.
Either you have to start not going to games, which I understand people don't want to do in terms of like, if you don't get a ticket, someone else is going to ticket, or if you buy a ticket and don't go, you're just wasting money. I 100% understand that. So I'm not saying that. Don't turn up for the first 20 minutes. Leave early. Like walk out after like the first half or something, or like after 60 minutes or whatever, right? Get Get a load of tennis balls, throw them on a pitch, or get a load of whatever and throw them on a pitch to stop the game. Again, that will get televised. That will get like shown. Happened at Charlton, I think. It happened at, I don't know if it happened at Sheffield Wednesday, but it's happened at a few games. The other thing that might have to happen, and we discussed this, and I know people don't want to hear this and don't like to hear this, for change to happen, it may take a Tottenham situation of we may have to, for a couple seasons in a row, 2-3 seasons in a row, finish anywhere from 14th to 17th.
Yeah.
Because if we're not doing that, we've looked at it today. We were 8th before the game. We won the game, went to 6th. We are 2 points behind Liverpool in 4th. We are a 1-game swing from being back in top 4 and everything looking rosy, from being 8th.
I mean, we got what, Crystal Palace next?
Yes. I don't know who Liverpool got, but say the results go in our favour that game. Say they lose and we win, we're back ahead of them. In a week, in the space of a week, we've gone from 8th to 4th and everything's looked rosy again.
Exactly.
So for change to happen, it may be a case of we have to finish 14th to 17th, anywhere from there, for certain guys to get sacked. Bernardo Cueva, by the way, sorry, this is a complete tangent, but talking of getting sacked, Bernardo Cueva, what does he even do? Yeah, for certain people to get sacked, they may have to happen. For certain changes to be made, like that's what is maybe what it has to be. But none of us want that. No, I don't want to finish where Spurs are finishing. I don't want to be in 14th. I don't want to be fighting relegation. And like 4 points off of Nottingham Forest or whatever it is they are. That's not fun.
I just, what it is, bro. I was saying this as well. Yeah, I just feel like, we've become like a Twitter thing, bro. I hate to use the United example, but the United example is a great example, by the way, of what we've become. Where essentially, we become like we talk all this, we going, I'm going, X is going, this is going, on Twitter. But when it's showtime, there's no showtime happening, bro. And so again,
that's not a United thing. That's just life. That's keyboard
No.
warriors.
The reason why I'm using United, Oliver, is because that's what was happening at United. But a lot of they went through this thing of like essentially where a lot of them were like, we gotta make protests, we gotta come, I'm gonna come, you're gonna come, and everything like that. And then no one came. Right? I'm using them because they're like the biggest club example. For example, like had those protests happen. But your point still stands, by the way, Oliver. But it is what it is. I just think for me, if you're the ownership, bro, you do not care about these chants, bro. It's just gonna be business as usual, bro, for them.
Not even that. Like, we're too tied to results in terms of how actively we want to protest. Like, Scott was mentioning it, but Liverpool played Bournemouth away and Newcastle at home their next 2 games. Say Liverpool draws versus Bournemouth and we beat Palace. We go ahead of them on superior goal difference. United play at Arsenal next week. I think it's safe to say United's not going to win, right? Nobody really thinks they're going to win next week.
I disagree. Oh, okay.
Okay, sure, whatever. Fine, cool, no problem. Let's say United does the world a favor and they draw. Even if that were the case, provided we were to win at Palace next week, who would look like it's all falling apart, we would end the match week in 4th place after all of this. Like, how we get to the objective is very important. We shouldn't lose sight of that. But for these owners, in a weird, fucked up way, the ends can justify the means, or at least begin to do so, because of how mediocre most of this league is. Just our will to protest and our will to be difficult is too tied to the results of the team, and I don't have any faith for a meaningful message to be delivered.
Yep.
Because I think we will pick up form, and the will to do so will die out.
And you know what I find funny? And this is kind of a dig at all the match-going fans who want to cuss out all the YouTubers and vloggers and this, that, and the other. The only person so far that I have seen, despite the result, is still Bluco out and fuck Bluco and this, that, and the other is Matisse. He's the only dude I heard anyone. He's the only dude following the game that I heard say any Chelsea fan say anything close to that.
Wait, so Ahmed is still Bluco in?
Ahmed, defend yourself.
At the end of the day, as we at the Bridge Nation, we can't talk on that sort of thing. We are that's all I can say. Really, thank you.
You're compromised, yeah.
I can't speak on that sort of thing.
If Bolly's behind you.
I don't want to speak. That's it. But big shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Prime.
What?
Bro, you keep like going muffled again. Your mic's going.
Sorry. Yeah, I think I've got a minor mic issue, but talk to me about this the protest situation, because I haven't heard your thoughts yet, mate. That's a lie. CB still blue car. I mean, listen, I think a lot of people are blue car. It's just that there's a difference between, obviously.
Who's supposed to be talking to you?
Sorry?
Who did you say talk to you? Who are you talking about?
No. I was just reading a comment, bro.
Oh, okay.
He was saying that's a lie. CB is still blue car. I said, again, fair enough to him, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, but his opinion changes like the weather. I'll be real.
Again, at the end of the day, bro, conviction is a key word I always use, man. Conviction is a key word. But go ahead, Prime. Sorry, bro.
He's on mute.
All right, fair enough. Chris, you
Hey,
were
on a
saying...
side note, by the way, on a side note, Strasbourg just made a signing.
I know. I thinking...
I just clocked. I didn't even know this. Arsenal drew.
Yep.
I just
Well, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, you didn't miss much.
Yeah, it was a horrible game.
I know. I didn't watch it. I just literally saw the scoreline.
No, well, we really didn't watch it if you just clocked this.
Yeah.
Maybe Man City still have a chance.
But, they do. And you know what, man? Aston Villa win the game. They're 4 points behind.
So, it needs to happen, please.
It is what it is.
Aston Villa for league champions. I hear it.
Because they've got a game in hand right now.
Yeah, that'd be the one thing.
Villa winning the league would be appropriate for this season.
Unai Emery pipping Arsenal to the league would be cinema.
Yeah, give me that.
Honestly.
It cannot happen. God cannot let that happen.
But ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna end the stream here because I'm cooked a little bit. I need to sleep. I'm really tired right now. Yeah,
I've seen your eyes a bit red actually.
Yeah, they look. Thank you,
How
mate.
much
I appreciate it. Not much sleep, indeed. I need to. My bed is calling me. Big up to everyone here, as always. In terms of another stream, probably not gonna happen until Crystal Palace probably. So which is the game afterwards. But it is what it is. But you guys know who I am. I've been your host with the most Bridge Nation. I hope you've enjoyed this little background music I've been putting on, the little lo-fi thing. I was hoping to,
Marshall.
This is actually from Persona 5 actually. So I thought,
No, I'm just saying Marshall has the background music.
Yeah, I'm learning from the master. Shout out to Marshall. But it is what it is. But we move. As always, I've been your host with the most, the Bridge Nation. Make sure to tune in and make sure to, as always, please do the following for me.
Like that video?